Today, we're going to be talking about my 5 favorite go-to wedding day poses that I use for every single wedding that I shoot. If you're just getting started in wedding photography or you're a seasoned vet looking to add to your repertoire, this video is perfect for you. Stay tuned till the end. I'll give you a bonus tip for how I practice these poses without having a real couple in front of me. Pose number 1. I always like to start with the lovely walk. I explain it to my couples this way too. I think it's good to initially get people moving, get them interacting with each other to take their minds off of the fact that they're having their pictures taken. This warms them up to the idea of being photographed and helps them relax and puts them at ease so they're photographing a little bit more genuine. This is really great to have them walk towards you and or away from you. You can even use this pose to buy yourself some time if you need some time to think about what you're going to do next. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You just have them hold hands, walk straight towards you, and tell them, you're not looking at me, you're looking at each other, and you're having a lovely, lovely walk. That translates pretty well for most people. They understand the assignment and know exactly what to do. If you really want to get crazy with this pose, you can tell them mix in some butt bumps as well. Anytime I give somebody a prompt or a pose, I say, and you understand what I mean by that, right? When you make sure to communicate all these little things and explain it as thoroughly as possible, it can really help with the final product, as some people might not understand what you mean by a lovely walk. All these little communication pieces really add to the photo as it helps your client and your subject understand better what you're hoping to achieve with this set of pictures. All right, pose number 2, the smile in kiss. Any wedding photographer on the planet does a kiss photo for every single wedding that they shoot. A way to really elevate this shot is by telling your couple, smile into the kiss like you're gonna kiss with your teeth. It can be a little bit awkward, but I really love making things a little bit awkward and playing into it, as for most people, that really loosens them up and they're able to laugh at themselves. Telling your couple to smile into the kiss adds a little bit more emotion into the shot, rather than them being stone cold faced when they're going in for the kiss and the shot only being the kiss. Now you got a whole nother set of pictures where they're actually smiling at each other and look super duper happy. Another way to elevate this set of pictures is once you have them smile into the kiss, have them smile out of the kiss. 9 times out of 10, your couple's gonna smile at you instead of each other. And you can turn that into a shot too, because you can make them laugh when you point out, no, I meant smile at each other, not at me. That's usually a moment that ends up bringing some natural laughs as well and can really get some additional great pictures. It's all about flow posing. It's all about building into the next shot and adding a little bit of variation to those traditional poses. I prefer to use this shot for a medium or super duper tight shot, really getting those close-ups, but you can also use this for a full body shot as well. It doesn't really matter. I think it's a good idea to throw in little variations like this just to keep it interesting for your couple and interesting for the photos, because you just never know what might work. Number 3, a fan favorite here at Forte Films and Stills, is the Kidnap. We use it for most of our weddings and shoots that we do. The reason that it works so great is because it gets people moving, it gets people's minds off of the actual picture, and it gets people interacting with each other. Those are 3 things that really play into having a great natural reaction photo. I like to start this set of photos by having the bride a few steps in front of the groom. You instruct the groom to come up behind the bride, grab her like he's kidnapping her, shake her around a little bit, and then you instruct the bride, you're happy to get kidnapped. You're looking to see who your kidnapper is, and you're grabbing onto your kidnapper. Not only does this get you really great emotion, but it also puts their heads more or less on the same plane, so you can still shoot at a wide open aperture, really low depth of field, and get that beautiful fall off and bokeh. Another thing that I really love about this set is many couples turn it into their own thing and they put their own little twist on it without even realizing it. It's rare that I see the same kidnap style twice, so really cool way to showcase the couple's personalities in this set of photos. All right, pose number 4, the pretzel hug. This is kind of similar positioning to the kidnap, a little bit less motion involved, but I really like the way that the hands and the arms and the faces fall for this shot. What I do for this shot is have the bride stand in front and the groom is directly behind her. I have them put their arms down at the sides and hold them. On the count of 3, they are to pretzel hug and give each other some squeezes. A side tip is to always tell the groom to bring his face in towards the bride and to have them turn their faces towards each other. It can get really awkward if you don't instruct people how to do these little things because they're not thinking about that. They're just doing what you say. They don't understand what the final product is going to be. So the more communication, the better. This is also a great picture to do either straight on or from the side. I think there's a bunch of different angles you can hit from this. And sometimes I'll have people do it twice and just try a different angle to see what's working really well for my couple or working really well for the location that I picked out. Since a photo like this is a little bit more static, a little bit more stationary, I think a really great way to add a little bit of motion into the shot is by telling your couples to rock the boat a little bit. Adding that little bit of motion can really help them to loosen up and just be in the moment. And that's what it's all about. Keeping your couples in the moment, I think, a great way by keeping them in the moment and enjoying themselves and showing off their true personalities is by introducing just a little bit of motion and telling them to get smiley with each other while they're doing it. Pose number 5, which is the most overlooked and not at all talked about pose, is the smile, look at the camera picture. Now, I know you might be thinking that's ridiculous. Of course, we're going to be taking that picture. Yes, but I wanted to put it on here because it's a staple in every single shoot that you do. And I don't think every single photographer realizes that. I've noticed with a lot of our clients, and especially the clients' families, the moms, the grandmas, the whoever, the pictures that often get printed and used the most are those smile, look at the camera pictures. So I almost always, for every single set of photos, when I move to a different composition, to a different location, I always make sure to grab that smile, look at the camera picture. It's not as fun and it doesn't always show as much emotion, but people love it and I think it's a super necessary shot. There's ways to shoot this better than just having them stand there and smile. And one of those ways is by having them wrap up with all their arms, as I like to say, get those faces in nice and close, turn in, touch at the temple, lean in towards the camera lens, depending on the focal length you're shooting. If you're shooting a wide angle lens like a 35, how I often shoot, you want their heads to be the closest thing to the lens so their body looks slimmer. It's the geometry of the lens, and you can look up more of that if you want later. I'm not going to talk about it here. A couple little adjustments like that, like not having dangly arms, can greatly enhance the final image and make even a simple shot like smile, look at the camera, a very beautiful image. Don't forget to keep your great composition and great light for even such a simple image as this. You're a professional photographer, and I think that applies to every single shot that you take. Those are my 5 go-to poses and prompts for every single wedding and every single shoot that I do. As promised, here's my bonus tip on how to practice these poses without an actual couple. With pretty much anything in life, the best way to get great at something is with intentional practice. And this is how I intentionally practice my posing, even if I don't have a live couple. I write down in a notebook, in order of how I'm gonna shoot them, all my poses and prompts. Every night, especially when I was starting out, I would read through this list. I would memorize this list. I'd put it on flashcards and I'd have my family members test me and quiz me on this list to see how well I knew it. I did this because I get so nervous before a shoot, and I know many of you do as well. The second you start shooting, you instantly forget all those incredible poses that you had planned on doing for the shoot, and all of a sudden you can only think of that one shot. When you get all your poses on a list like this and you go through repetition and repetition and repetition, memorizing exactly how it goes and exactly how you're going to communicate that pose to your couple, it starts to become muscle memory. You don't have to think about it any longer. It's just an instant reaction when you pick up your camera. Since I've been doing this for so long, I now do this more on an annual basis rather than doing it daily. But when I started out, that was like a Bible to me, where I just was nonstop every day reading through those and memorizing it. It can also help you to shoot a lot quicker, and it'll make your clients say, oh, they know what they're doing. If you're sitting there trying to look up poses on your phone, I think that's number one, incredibly not professional, but it also can kind of put doubt in your clients' minds. I think it's a really great thing at all costs to not show any uncertainty when it comes to the photography. Many people think that what we do as photographers is nothing more than an investment in expensive camera gear. So one way to mitigate that is by knowing, like the back of your hand, what you're gonna do and when you're gonna do it. As I mentioned throughout some of these poses, the most important thing is communication. Give your clients as much communication as possible about exactly what you're going for so they can better understand the assignment and the prompt. And as always, make sure to give them permission to lean in and let loose for all of these prompts and poses. Tell them they don't have to stay in that one position and they can just go with it, as that will oftentimes bring your most genuine reactions and smiles. If you do end up using any of these poses or prompts, we would so love to see it. Tag us on Instagram at ForteMKE. We would love to see what you did with one of these poses and prompts. Hopefully this video helped you out a little bit with your wedding photography posing and your engagement session posing. I know it can be really challenging, especially when you just get started. So good luck out there, and thanks so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out so much. This has been Matt with Forte Films and Stills. We'll see you on the next video.